Good morning, friends. I am sleepy. I woke up, or got up, I should say, later than I planned. I actually got up pretty early this morning, which was good. But unfortunately, it doesn't really matter. The reason I was gonna get up early was because today, Tara and I were gonna hike her first 14er, and it's focusing on the blanket, not on me. But as you can probably see behind me, we have a lot of sun over here, some clouds over here, and a lot of changes going on. And that's obviously not ideal in the mountains for many reasons, but the biggest of which is that we have a lot of really big dark clouds that are coming and going really quickly behind us, which is indicative of storms, stormy weather, bad weather if you're gonna go into the mountains. Thankfully, all is not lost. This 14er actually allows you to drive up to the top of it, which is so crazy. And so I'm gonna make some coffee. We're gonna hit the road because I think we have like another 3,000 feet or so that we have to climb to get up to the top, and also to use the pass that I had to get reservations for. So I'm gonna make some coffee really quick and then we're gonna head up there.
What are you doing? You sitting on your hill?
Alright, so we just got to Summit Lake, which is a common jumping off point for a lot of the hikes in the area, most of which will take you at some point up to a peak. The biggest one here being Mount Blue Sky, previously known as Mount Evans, renamed for many reasons. Thank you, Diane, actually, who's a patron of mine, for letting me know about that. Really helpful information to have before coming up here. This is the route that we intended to come and do today, and there are lots of people out on that ridge, but I'll overlay some clips here so you guys can see what the weather is like. Clouds are moving past at like dozens of miles per hour, 30, 40, 50. I don't even want to know how fast and strong it is up top. And I personally, having done a handful of 14ers, hiked the Colorado Trail, and just been in the mountains out here a lot, do not feel very comfortable, unfortunately, hiking this trail. It's unfortunate. Obviously, the plan was to go for a good hike today, but maybe we'll find something cool to do after this when we head back down the mountain. Until then, let's go see if the car can handle driving up to 14.2, I think this is. Yeah, so I'm definitely not regretting our decision to not hike this. I can barely even open the door without it getting ripped out of my hands, but I think in order to say that we've truly been up here, we gotta get out of the car. So I'm gonna leave the camera here. I'm just gonna bring my phone, just that way if I drop it, I'm not dropping y'all. And I'm gonna try to brave this for at least a few minutes. This is so cool. I haven't done a 14er in probably like a year and a half now, maybe 2. And I don't know if this really counts as doing a 14er. I hiked up from the parking lot, but still the rush, being at altitude, the wind whipping through the rocks, like this little keyhole behind me. God, it's hard to feel more alive than this, you know? It's just so spectacular being up here. Man. Holy smokes, you guys. That has to be some of the windiest condition I've ever been in. Whew. I mean, probably 60, 70 mile an hour easy, gusts probably even higher. People were literally like sheltering behind cars. So glad that we came up though. So spectacular up here between the mountain goats and the views and the weather just rapidly changing. I'm just always in awe of Mother Nature. It's just crazy. Even the car right now feels like it's being picked up. I do think though it's probably gonna be wise to try to get like one bar of service while we're up here to figure out where we're gonna go next for camp tonight. So I'm gonna do that and I'll see you guys there. All right, well, camp is set up, but unfortunately it is another blustery, windy afternoon, so we're hunkered down in the car right now, trying to get a little bit of work done and also ready to give you all an update. I apologize if you're rocking back and forth. You are sitting on top of my mattress and pillow as a tripod right now because it's the best that I can do. But there are a couple of things that have come up over the last few weeks that some of you might know about if you follow me also on Instagram. Others of you don't know about it at all. If you're a patron, you might have heard some parts. I need to give everyone an update, I feel like at this point, because there's a lot that has changed and a lot that is changing in the next few months here. The most pressing of all of these, though, is my plans for later this week, which involve a flight abroad. I'm heading to Iceland, where I will be camping in hopefully a Subaru or similar. If you've rented a car, you know what I'm talking about, for 3 days in Iceland, where I'm going to be touring by myself and sleeping in a very similar setup to what I have here before jumping on a flight with my friend Abby and heading to Italy. From there, we're going to be touring around Italy, Switzerland, maybe Austria and Germany for around 10 days before flying home to pick Terra up and carry on with our summer adventures in Colorado. Now, this definitely was not in the plan. I did not think that I was going to be going abroad this summer. I just moved to Denver. Why would I leave? The sun is killing me. But after doing a little bit more research, thinking about my plans for the future and where I want to go, realistically in the next, hopefully 10 plus healthy long years of Terra's life, there aren't going to be a lot of opportunities for me to go completely abroad without her. And when I was able to find a sitter for her in my neighborhood, someone that she's met and that I trust, I knew that it was now or never and that I just had to take the leap. So for the next couple of weeks, I will be abroad. Don't worry, you guys will be coming with me. And in fact, when you are watching this video, I am probably already in Iceland, which is crazy to think about. But I'm going there first, heading to Iceland, heading to Italy, heading to Switzerland, and all of these are actually going to be in the back of cars or vans. And part of the reason that this is happening, and part of the reason I'm so excited to take on this opportunity, is because of what I'm about to say next. And I don't know. A part of me can't believe it. The other part of me is not surprised at all, and maybe some of you will agree. But after a few weeks in Denver, a few months, I guess now, it's been almost 2 months of my lease, I've decided that at some point in the coming year or at the end of our year term, depending on how things go, I will be getting back on the road with Terra. We will be getting back on the road, which is so crazy to say out loud. I just can't even believe that this is reality and that we're able to take this step. And it is in no small part due to Terra's health, which is kind of the third update I want to give you all. I know that a lot of you have been asking about how she is doing, and I've been really hesitant to share just because things can change so quickly. And obviously that is still the case. Things can always change. But gratefully, after working closely with a vet and a vet nutritionist in the local Denver area, we were able to get her on a new food plan, of which I'm still tinkering with, so I'm not, ready to share what we're doing, but it was able, if nothing else, to reduce her liver enzymes to a level where the vets felt comfortable not doing any invasive procedures and just monitoring her for improved health and hopefully mood and outlook on life as well. which honestly is something that being on the road in this part-time, very small setup has given us. It's given Terra the chance to run and be free and go play with other dogs, and for both of us to really fall back in love with our time in the outdoors and on the road again, because for the few months leading up to getting off the road and living in Denver, it really became a very stressful and in some ways kind of a negative thing, which feels horrible to say or even think of now, because I can't even imagine, the place that I was in to be feeling the way that I was. But truthfully, it has been almost a 180. And part of the reason why I say we're staying with our lease until further notice, I do have a 1-year lease. I can terminate it with cause with a month's notice, and I've already looked into the details, so no worries there. I could terminate it and just pay 1 extra month of rent, which is not ideal, but if we're looking to get off the road, it's better than paying 12 months of rent, I guess is how I justify and see it. The other part of it, though, is wanting to have this time and space to really move slowly and intentionally, because if and when we do get back on the road full time, I do not presently have a home base. My parents are on the road, as many of you have heard in the past, which is so cool, and I'm so excited for them and so happy for the freedom that they are choosing currently. But it means that I wouldn't have necessarily a place to, fall back and store my things. That is what my apartment is going to become for myself, is a home base, a place to come back, to shower, to rest, while I am building out slowly over the next few months, potentially even over the year, our new home on wheels, if you will call it that. I feel like that term is so outdated now. But in getting back on the road, I want to be so intentional about what and why we are doing it and what we are doing it for. And a lot of that is to not only seek new ground, new land, new shores, but also to, I guess, just fall back in love with the road again. I think a lot of my discontent, and I'll be brief here, but I can talk about it more if you guys are interested, so leave a comment down below. A lot of my discontent from the road came from being wrapped up in some of the drama that existed within the community, this pressure that I was putting on myself to constantly travel and move and see new places and balance also a 40 to 50 hour a work week, which now is going to be even more increased because, don't worry, I am staying in grad school. It is a option to be completely remote if I would like to. So for anyone who is wondering, now it's going to be work plus school plus travel. And those things require a lot of planning, a lot of attention, and a lot of time and space to settle in and figure out what's going to work for us. And so thinking about all of that, I'm letting you all know now because I feel like I am not somebody who can really hide things very well. And so I'm telling you because it is something that I'm planning. And if you hear little inklings that I am making decisions or looking at one thing or looking at another, this is why. All that said, though, it is still somewhat blustery, but I think clearing up a little bit. So we might be able to have dinner outside tonight before calling it a day. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get some work done. Thank goodness for this little office space. I just truly cannot speak highly enough about it. I don't have my external up here right now because I'm running low on battery space, but when I have the dual screen running and unlimited power, God, it really is such a game changer. This morning, has already started out on a bit of an unexpected foot because last night, actually, when I was trying to get a little bit of additional work done, I realized that I messed up. My Blue Yeti died, which means that I don't have internet, I don't have a computer, I didn't have cell service, I don't have cell service, and I still had to get work done. And I also have a meeting this morning for my new job that I'll tell you about in a second at 8:30. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it home by then. I'm about 2 hours away, I think. And yeah, it's already like 6:45. So I'll probably find a coffee shop somewhere along the way to pop in and take that meeting before heading home to grab the Blue Yeti charger cord so that way I could actually use my solar when we're out here. All this to say though, it's definitely been a learning curve getting back out on the road temporarily, and in some ways it feels some days harder than just living full-time on the road because forgetting things is not something that I really ever dealt with when I had my whole home and all of my belongings with me. So that's definitely been interesting, and yeah, just a new experience that I haven't had to really deal or struggle with in the past. All that said, though, we're going to make it work. I'm going to make it to my meeting on time, which, by the way, is for a position actually at the university that I'm going to. I know there have been a lot of questions as to whether or not I was still going to pursue a degree, considering that I'm saying I'm getting back on the road at some point in the next year, and I am. I think I explained all that yesterday, but I can complete this program hybrid, I can complete it remote and be in person when I want to be for things like meetings or for events or networking opportunities. But all my classwork can be completed online, which is just so cool and so nice, and also a big part of the reason why I chose this program is because knowing myself, I knew that it would be difficult to maybe stay in an area for 3 years if I didn't absolutely love it or if other opportunities came up, which they already have. All that said, I hope that you guys have had a wonderful week. Remember, I'm in Iceland right now, so there might be a bit of a delay in me responding to comments this week as I kind of figure out the internet situation over there. But I can't wait to share our European adventure with you all. And by our, I mean me and Abby. And there will be more Terra when we come back, of course. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.